Hi guys, so this week we are doing a sort of maths exercise called Wow, Your Feet Are Big, and the primary goal of this task is to learn about tally charts. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the instructions that are very explicit, simple instructions. I'm going to go through them very clearly in this video and explain what you need to do, okay? So first step, it says use a ruler to measure your foot. Hopefully you don't need instructions on that, but you'll need your ruler, and it's from your big toe. Put your big toe on the 0, and then the heel of your foot will tell you how long your foot is. My one is 28.5 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say it's 29. The reason why I'm going to say it's 29 is because we're not going to deal with decimals this week. We're just going to keep things simple. So first task, step 1, I've found out that my foot is 29 centimeters. So I'm going to write that up there. Now I'm going to read the next step. Create a tally chart with 7 different rows and 2 columns. So again, using your ruler, 7 different rows. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go every second line. You might want to do that in your maths book as well. Every second line is good. Now it's quite hard for me to draw on this angle. So what I'm going to do is I've done a few with my ruler properly. But what I want you to do them all with your ruler. It's much easier to rule in your book when it's flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I suggest two high and quite wide, and then you're going to make the columns like this. So that's what that means. Create a tally chart with 7 different rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2 columns. We'll make one column is small, one column is big. You'll find out why in a second. So your next thing is to put in the middle column, middle row, to put your foot size. So mine's 29, so I'm going to put it there. Step after that, you're going to go up in 2s above it. So 31, 33, 35. And then do the same thing below. Step 5 is going low, so 27, 25, and 23. Now, step 6, it says you will write the greater than sign on the top number. Greater than sign is, well, like it's eating, an alligator eating something. It's always going to eat the bigger thing. And then it says you're going to write the lesser than sign on the bottom number. So that's what we've got so far. Okay? Now what that means is that anybody who's above 35 or above, no matter how big their foot is, I would put them in this column. And no matter how small their foot is, if it's 1 centimeter big, which would be impossible, but I would still put their dash in there. Okay, so now we're going on to the next step. Step 7, collect the data from everybody in your class. So now you would go around and talk to the people in your class, asking them how big their foot is. So I'm going to just make up some numbers. Let's pretend that my class is full of adults, because otherwise my data is going to look pretty odd. So I'm going to make up maybe 15 numbers. And I'd write them down just so I can double check. So 26, 23, 23, 29, 31, 31, 26, 28, 22, 22, 19, 18, 34, 35. And let's go 37. Someone had a massive foot. No, I don't even know how many I've written there. But so what I'm looking at is you're going to be gathering 50 pieces of data, but what I'm looking at is you're working on the Walt is learning how to use tally charts to create some kind of conclusion. So here I'd go and I'd say 29. So what's the number that's closest to 29? Boom. Well, that's 29. So that's one person is in the 29s. 26. So that's between 25 and 27. So what we're going to do is we're always going to go to the lower one if it's between them. So, for example, if there was a 30, you'd go to the 20. You'd put the marker in the 29. This one's a 26, so we're going to put the marker on the 25. As long as you keep the same rule, you'll find. So this one's 23. Oh, it just so happens that it's on 23. Another 23. A 29 again. That's good. A 31. Another 31. A 26. So again, it's not up to 27, so we're going to choose the lower of the two. A 28. Not up to 29, so we're going to choose 27. 22, well that's less than 23, so we choose that. Another 22, less than 23. Now 19 is less than 23. Now because it's the fifth one, we're going to do a diagonal marker across them. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goes diagonal. And that's to help you count stuff up later. It makes it easy to group, to say, hey, I've got 5 lots of 5, so that's 25, and then see one more, I've got 26. 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's really easy to check your data, so I now know, I've remembered that I'm up to there. Got one more, 6, 18 is less than 23, so that's 6. Then I've got a 34 and a 35. 34, we're going to go down here, because it's not quite 35, and 35, we're going to go there, and 37's there as well. And then your last step is to make a general statement on how you sit in your class. So I've given the example of my foot size was right at the top of the class. The only person who was even close to mine was Ashley's, and I think that's because I'm an adult and I'm tall. But if this was my data, I'd say, hey, my foot size is right in the middle. There's probably a few more people below with smaller feet than me, but I'm pretty close to the middle. Way you could get more accurate information, obviously, is you could count up how many people are lower than me. So I know 5, because it's a tally chart, one diagonal line, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people below, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 above, so I could mention that information. There are 9 people below with smaller feet than me, 5 people with bigger feet than me, and only 2 people, and only myself and one other, that have the same size feet. And just a rough guess on what you think, why you think that has happened. Okay guys, hopefully this has helped you with your tally charting. Have a good time. See you soon. Bye.